Okay, so according to this report from Bloomberg, Corvette is basically thinking about doing the Mach-E approach. For those who don't know, Corvette is owned by GM, and similar to the Hummer electric vehicle, they kind of want to rebrand a lot of their existing lineups and convert them over to electric, which if you remember GM's big electric vehicle conversion announcement, how they want to have a bunch more EVs by 2025, they basically want to stay true to their branding and not really sway too much from what already is in existence. And I thought this might be a good example to talk about the Mach-E and a potential Corvette SUV that's all electric, which is to tell companies out there about this electric conversion. Electric vehicles are selling great, and no matter who is selling the best, no matter what electric vehicle comes out, some of them may look stupid, some of them may be compelling, some of them have short range, some of them have long range. The main issue most companies are running into with producing electric vehicles is they cannot build enough of them because they cannot get enough parts from supply chains, all right? And there's lots of studies being done that once people make that switch over to electric, they are highly unlikely to go back to an internal combustion engine vehicle. So once people kind of catch the electric car bug, they very rarely want to go back. And I still get the sense from either Ford or GM that they think if they make an electric vehicle or if they make a new product line that's all electric, then that's going to scare off their primary audience or their primary customers, and they go, oh no, people won't like us if we make electric cars, and people are going to want to keep buying their own brands and buying the names that they're comfortable with, whether it be the Hummer, which died off, or the Corvette. And because electric is speedy and performance based, that means we can call it a Corvette, but we can now bring it to a larger platform and make it into an SUV. Frankly, I don't have that many issues with the Ford Mach-E. I think it's a great vehicle, but you notice in my videos I kind of try my best not to call it a Mustang because it definitely ticked off a huge demographic of the Mustang fan base because they are all used to having, muscle cars with two doors, they're low to the ground, they're not SUVs, they're not crossovers, and to see Mustang branding brought to an electric crossover with four doors and everything just kind of throws off the OG fan base. And I imagine if GM did make a Corvette crossover electric SUV of some kind, you would probably get a fairly similar reaction of, what are you doing? Why do you keep ruining the brand names we know and love? And it doesn't really make much sense to me from a business standpoint. Like, in my opinion, we have established that there is tremendous demand for electric vehicles, and there can be lots of variety in the EV market. There can be lots of vehicles outside of Tesla that people are comfortable with buying and people enjoy the features of, whether they be more traditional, whether they be more futuristic. Well, the design may be more modern, while some designs might be more efficient. It's a large market, and there's plenty of people willing to make the switch over to electric vehicles. And I don't think GM should be worried about creating a brand new lineup with a new name, calling it some other brand, the plant car or whatever you want to call it, that's all electric. I think EV enthusiasts and people that are very present and vocal about being interested in making the switch to electric and seeing what other companies can do with their own battery technology, it's not like no one will be interested in that brand new product category if it doesn't have a traditional name we've already heard before. GM wants to make an electric crossover, that's great. I mean, it's a very saturated market right now, but yeah, if you want to make a more sporty version, maybe something to go up against the Mach-E and the Tesla Model Y, that's great, but you probably should just realize that when you reuse the Corvette branding like that, it kind of ticks off a lot of the OG fan base of the Corvette name. And I feel like if someone is not interested in an electric crossover from GM at all, I don't think slapping the Corvette branding on it will change their mind very much. If anything, that's just going to tick them off. And frankly, I think GM has a chance here to kind of spread out their lineup and introduce some more EV options, as they're still probably going to keep selling internal combustion engine vehicles. But you'll probably not tick off the fans as much if you just give it a new name, give it a new category, and EV enthusiasts will be interested, and I guarantee you'll probably have a hard time making enough of them because they're going to be in such high demand. And that's pretty much the same issues VW is having, Ford is having, Tesla is having. You can't build EVs fast enough, so you don't have to reuse this branding. It just doesn't make sense to me. The logic is flawed. It kind of ticks off your fan base in the first place, and if there's people out there that aren't interested in an electric vehicle at all, I don't think the brand name changing so much is going to help. So that's my advice to GM and to all future legacy automakers who are developing their own electric vehicles. Don't feel like you have to carry over the old branding, okay? I don't think it makes that big a difference, and your main focus should be on making a compelling EV, not a name recognition recognizing EV. Oh, Corvette has an SUV now. I'm now more inclined to buy an electric car than I was yesterday. I don't think that's how consumers think, but these big companies probably think about this kind of stuff a lot more than I do, so feel free to let me know how wrong I am down below. Thank you all for watching. Hope you have an excellent rest of your day. Take care.